Hi everyone, this is Vensy and this video is going to be the first one on legal GK. As I told you in an earlier video, legal GK includes many topics and it is frequently tested on the legal aptitude section and also the GK section. Today's session is one of the fundamental concepts in constitutional awareness, the first page of the Indian Constitution, the Preamble. So this is going to be a quiz on all the questions which are related to the Indian Constitution's Preamble. And I'd like you to attempt the quiz first before you look at the answers. So first I'll ask the questions and then proceed to answer them. Please get ready with a paper and number it from 1 to 15 and proceed to answer the questions by marking your options. Please pause this video and play it once you're ready. Okay, so let's start the quiz. Question 1. Which of the following words does not feature in the preamble of the Indian Constitution? A. Sovereign. B. Indian. C. Citizens. D. Enact. Question number 2. Which of the following is not true? A. The Indian Constitution was implemented on 26 November 1949. B. The preamble was amended once historically. C. We celebrate 26 November as Law Day. D. Jawaharlal Nehru presided the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress. Question number 3. How many judges composed of the bench in Keshavananda Bharati? A. 15, B. 11, C. 17 and D. 13. Next question. When was the 42nd Amendment passed? A. 1974, B. 1976, C. 1978 and D. 1975. Question number 5. Which amendment abolished the right to property as a fundamental right? A. 42nd Amendment, B. 43rd Amendment, C. 44th Amendment and D. 45th Amendment. Question number 6. How many fundamental rights are there? A. 5, B. 6, C. 7 and D. 8. Question 7. When was the right to property removed as a fundamental right? A. 1984, B. 1978, C. 1974 and D. 1986. Question number 8. Which part of the Constitution has fundamental rights? A. Part 1, B. Part 2, C. Part 3 and D. Part 4. Question number 9. Which case held that the preamble is not part of the Constitution? A. Berubari versus Union of India, B. Keshavananda Bharati versus Union of India, C. M.C. Mehta versus Union of India, D. S.R. Bommai versus Union of India. Question number 10. The preamble of India was borrowed from A. UK, B. USSR, C. USA, D. Canada. 11. Which of the amendments is known as the mini constitution? A. 15th Amendment, B. 42nd Amendment, C. 24th and D. 44th. 12. Who said that the preamble is the keynote to the Indian Constitution? A. B.R. Ambedkar, B. Ernst Baker, C. Glanville Williams and D. Pandit Nehru. Question number 13. What kind of justice does the preamble not envisage? A. Social, B. Religious, C. Economic and D. Political. 14. Which of the following words does not describe India in the preamble? A. Republic, B. Socialist, C. Secular, D. Autocratic. Finally, what kind of liberty does the preamble envisage? A. Religion, B. Property, C. Faith and D. Political. So now for the answers. If you've missed any questions, please rewind the video and attempt to answer them. Please play this again when you're ready. So let's see how many you got right. Which of the following words does not feature in the preamble? The answer is B. Indian. You might not believe that the preamble to the Indian Constitution does not use the word Indian, but it does not. However, it begins with "We the people of India." You will see the words sovereign, citizens and enact in the preamble. Which of the following is not true? The answer is A. The Constitution was implemented on 26 November 1949. It was formally enacted on 26 January 1950, yes, which was the nation's first Republic Day, although it was passed on 26 November 1949. So if you know your history, you know that even though the Constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949, a date that is still reflected on the preamble, the Constituent Assembly decided to postpone the formal implementation of the Constitution to 2 months later, since 26 January was decided as the Independence Day when the Pune Swaraj Declaration was adopted by the Lahore session of the Indian National Congress, which was incidentally presided by Jawaharlal Nehru. Thus, we celebrate 26 November as Law Day or Constitution Day, and the preamble was amended only once so far. So how many judges composed of the bench in Keshavananda Bharati? The answer is 13. A bench is the name given for a group of judges who decide a case. The highest number of judges possible in an Indian bench is 13, one that was convened only once in the history of independent India, in the case of Keshavananda Bharati. So please remember the name of the case and its significance. When was the 42nd Amendment passed? The answer is 1976. The 42nd Amendment was huge and pervasive, and among the things it amended in the Constitution, one was the addition of 3 words to the preamble. The 42nd Amendment was passed by the Indira Gandhi government and it brought in widespread changes to the Constitution, but most of them were repealed almost immediately by the Janata government. Which amendment abolished the right to property as the fundamental right? The answer is the 44th Amendment. One other important amendment apart from the 42nd Amendment is the 44th Amendment of 1978, which removed the right to property as a fundamental right. So earlier there were 7 fundamental rights, including the right to property. However, after its removal, there are now 6. So how many fundamental rights are there? I just told you the answer. The answer is 6. When was the right to property removed as a fundamental right? We just saw that the 44th Amendment was passed in 1978. So the answer is B. So which part of the Constitution has fundamental rights? Guys, it's very important to remember the parts of the Constitution so that if you're asked about the different articles, you can at least approximate what they can be about. So the fundamental rights are in part 3 of the Constitution, articles 12 to 35. So which case held that the preamble was not part of the Constitution? The answer is Berubari. So the question before the courts related to the amendment powers of the Parliament. Which parts of the Constitution could be amended by the Parliament was the question. Some cases said that the power was sweeping, others said that it was limited, and one related question to whether all parts of the Constitution could be amended was whether the preamble was a part of the Constitution and whether it could be amended. Berubari said no, that the preamble is not part of the Constitution, that it had to be considered to be separate and more sanctimonious and could not be altered. But after the series of cases that followed Berubari, the Supreme Court sat in a 13-judge bench in Keshavananda Bharati to hold that the preamble indeed is a part of the Constitution and proceeded to lay down the basic structure doctrine. Now, the preamble of India was borrowed from, the answer is USA. The preamble begins with the words "We the people of India" and declares some fundamental values. This is similar to the USA's own preamble. And another feature that was borrowed from the USA was the Bill of Rights as our fundamental rights. Please do read up on all the borrowed features of the Indian Constitution and where they were borrowed from. There are plenty of them. So which of the amendments is known as the mini constitution? The answer is the 42nd Amendment. As I said, the 42nd Amendment was wide and sweeping in its ambit, and it altered the constitution so profoundly that it constituted a small constitution on its own. So it was called the mini constitution. Who had said the preamble is a keynote to the Indian Constitution? The answer is Ernst Baker. Please don't confuse this with B.R. Ambedkar's quote, "Heart and Soul of the Constitution," which he said in reference to Article 32 and not the preamble. Please also read up on other quotes about famous jurists on the Indian Constitution and the preamble. What kind of justice does the preamble not envisage? The answer is religious. The preamble says justice, social, economic, and political. Which of the following does not describe India in the preamble? The answer is very easy. India is a democracy, not an autocracy, and the preamble rightly points to it. The preamble refers to India as a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So please remember all of those words. Finally, what kind of liberty does the preamble envisage? The answer is faith. None of the other terms are described in the preamble. So I hope you've enjoyed the quiz. If you've scored below 8 out of 15, you have both legal knowledge, and I suggest that you work towards building it immediately. Before you leave, let us just look at the preamble once to understand how it looks. and I suggest very strongly that you memorize it as soon as possible in the next couple of days. So it says, we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all the fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do we hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution. I hope you found this video useful. See you in my next video.